Every single season, Dollar Tree brings brand new ribbons to their aisles, and this season's Easter ones are gorgeous. We're going to start with this rainbow sign. It was left over from Valentine's, and we're going to start with this beautiful ribbon and cut strips of 5-inch. Just do as many as you think you need, but you can always cut more if you need more. We're going to fold it in half, glue it to itself, and then hot glue it to the rainbow. And we're going to keep the same shape going around the top and then move our way down with different types of ribbon. And this is what's beautiful. You can use any ribbon you want, even neutral color ribbons. I think some white and beige ones will look gorgeous. But we're going to make this an Easter theme one, or at least spring theme. And we're just going to start again applying them on the top, work our way down. I did overlap the ribbon just a little bit to each other so that you don't see any of the background color. You can always paint the design if you need to. If you don't have this sign, you can always cut it in the shape of a rainbow using cardboard or foam board. So here we're going to use this pink burlap ribbon. Do the same exact thing. Hot glue it to itself, hot glue it to the board, overlap to each other, and overlap to the one on the top. And we're going to do this all around onto the other side. All right, we're just about done with the pink, and then we're going to bring in this Easter one. Again, you don't have to do an Easter theme. You can do whatever color you want. We're going to cut it again into 5-inch strips and do the same exact thing. Now, the closer you get to the center or the bottom, the least amount of ribbon you need, so you don't need to cut as many. Again, we're going to overlap it to each other and overlap it to the one on top. Now, I'm contemplating adding one more ribbon to the way bottom, but I thought I can add something different to add texture and a pop of color. And we're just going to add some nautical rope. Now, the white nautical rope from Dollar Tree you can find year round, and we're just going to give it that rainbow shape. Here's the key. You want to start with as straight as possible first one, because if the first one is tilted, the rest will be tilted. And just keep doing that until the entire thing is covered. I'm going to add another piece of that rope to the back so that we can hang it, and it doesn't have to be super long. You don't even have to add this if you don't want. Now, you know I love some greenery, so I'm going to add little pieces of greenery picks here and there. I don't want to overwhelm it. I just want to add texture and color. So I'm going to add it in between the ribbon as well as the bottom portion of the rope, and then I'm going to add it on the top as well. Now, for an added touch of pop of color, I'm going to add some pink flowers, but you can skip this part if you'd like. I just thought the pink flowers would really complement the overall design of the rainbow. And let me tell you, I think it did. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. This one is definitely one of my favorites, which is probably why I put it first. But I would love to know what you think of it. Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to start with an Easter egg shape wreath form. You can find these during the Easter season or the spring season. We're going to also use these 3 ribbons. Now, for Valentine's, I did a ribbon wreath in the shape of a heart, and you guys loved it. I thought, let me do the same and add a different touch of, decor. I'm going to cut strips of this first burlap style ribbon in a 4-inch long, and then we are going to dovetail cut the ends. I'm going to use my silicone silver protector because it works so good, and you can find these at Dollar Tree. All right, so we're going to wrap the burlap ribbon all around the first 2 wire, okay? Now, if you encounter yourself with one of those like middle sections, just make a little slit just like I did this one, and then hot glue it to itself. That's how easy it is. Now, you can make these longer. You can make these instead of 4 inches, 5-inch, 6-inch, whatever you want. I didn't want it to be too big, so I want to keep it on the smaller size. So I'm just going to keep wrapping these around all the way around the first 2 wires. For the next ribbon, we're going to use this beautiful Easter themed one, and I'm going to cut it in 4.5 inches and do the same exact thing. fold it, and dovetail cut those ends. Now, I did cut several of these. Again, you can always cut more if you need them. Now, I am also going to use this beautiful blue burlap style ribbon, and we're going to do this one first. We're going to wrap the other two wires with it. Literally just wrap it around, and I'm going to do that all the way around. Now we're going to take those pieces of ribbon. I did cut them in half. So remember, I cut them in 4.5 size, and then I cut them in half after I dovetail cut them. Now I'm going to flip the wreath to its front. Okay, so the back is facing up, and we're going to hot glue them. Now make sure that the ribbon, as you are hot gluing it, that they're facing down, because that way when you pull it on the other side and you flip the wreath, it's going to look nice and pretty. Again, we're going to overlap each ribbon just a tiny bit, and then we are going to hot glue it all around. Okay, so now we're going to flip the wreath to its back. So now we're going to have it facing forward. And we're going to take a small little, you can use a pencil, a pen. I'm just using a small screwdriver. And we're going to pull those ribbon. Now again, if you find yourself in a spot where you have that middle wire, just make a slit and pull it forward just like that. So I'm going to pull it all the way around. Now you can see the layering, you can see the ribbon that we first used, then that blue, and then this beautiful design right in the center. So pretty, so festive. Now because this is a wreath form, you can add whatever you want. I'm going to add greenery, of course. I'm going to hot glue it in place. These are just ones that I had left over from a project a long time ago. I'm going to add more ribbon towards the top because it's taller, and then a little less on the bottom. But nonetheless, they're going to go on the right side of the wreath. And again, you can add whatever you want right there in the center. I'm just going to add a simple bow. I'm going to make one that is pink, and it's going to be on the smaller size. We're going to fluff it a little bit, tie it with jute string. Then we're going to use that same blue ribbon from earlier, make a larger one, and then tie the pink one on top. And then the leftover Easter themed ribbon, we're going to make two bows, like a double loop, and make it a little larger than the rest. And we are going to place it in the back. We're going to dovetail cut those ends because we want to match everything and bring everything together. And then we're going to hot glue it and tie it right there in the center of the greenery. Because this is a wreath form, you can do both, but you can always just hot glue it. That's okay. Tying it really makes sure it's nice and secure. We're going to add a couple of these extra leaves. I just thought it needed a pop of like a brighter green to bring together that ribbon from Easter. Dollar Tree has these little signs for Easter, and I love that it had these two little tiny bunnies. I'm going to cut one off, and I'm just going to hot glue it right there in the center. But you can add an Easter egg, whatever you want. You can add florals. The possibilities are endless. What do you think of this one? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to take this Peeps theme ribbon. It's so cute. We're going to cut strips of about 5 inches long. And then this pink thinner ribbon from Dollar Tree, we're going to cut this one about 3.5 inches long. We're going to hot glue the pink one inside of the other one. You can see here we're going to hot glue it to itself, making loops. So loop the pink one and then loop the larger one right over it, okay? And then just hold it in place until it hardens. And then you have this little loops. We're going to create a spring-themed decorative flower. You're going to see how pretty this is. I made a total of about 7 loops, but you can add as many as you want. And I repeated the process for all of them. Then I'm going to bring in a piece of stem. This is just one of those wooden stems that you can find at Dollar Tree. It's on the thinner side. We're going to hot glue each loop right onto them. And I'm going to do one and then one across, one in the middle, and then one across, so on and so forth until the entire thing is covered. Again, just hold it until they're all hardened and nice and dry. Look how cute that's already looking. Okay, we're going to add more of that white nautical rope right around the stem. I had a little bit of like leftover in the outside on the top, so I'm just going to add that rope and then add this pop of green color right on top, this beautiful flower from Dollar Tree. I'm going to add some greenery picks onto the rope in between the flower and the ribbon. Just add a few picks just to fill that in. This pick was one left over from another pick. I'm going to hot glue the entire thing right onto it, and look how pretty this looks. You can make multiple of these and make an arrangement. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Let me know what you think of this one down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to take this beautiful yellow ribbon from Dollar Tree, a button, and a hair tie. Now we're going to cut a strip that's going to be long enough to create a bookmark for one of my daughter's books. We're going to loop one end and just sew it back and forth to create a looped end, just like that. Now, I'm not a huge sewer. I cannot pretend that I am, but every so often I do pull out my sewing machine and, do my thing. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side, except we're going to thread the hair tie right in between and then do the same thing. Just sew it until it's nice and secure. Cut off any excess ribbon. So now you have a cute little, kind of like, I don't know, it looks like a keychain at first, but it's going to come together, I promise. We're going to place the button on the other end, and we're just going to, that's it, just sew it in and out until it's nice and secure. And look how good this looks. You're going to see what I'm talking about. My daughter loves to read, and so I grabbed one of her books. I'm going to remove the little sticky that she had where she's at. I'm going to place it, and then we're just going to stretch it and thread it over the button, and look how cute this looks. Wouldn't this make a great gift? You can make multiples. I love these. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I have a ton more of Dollar Tree DIY crafts inspiration for you. Check this video out. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.